Okay, hey, welcome everyone. This is Rick Hoffman here, and we are live once again. This is Friday, December 27th, I believe it is. Yeah. How many of you go through these holidays and lose track of what day of the week and all that stuff was? My wife and I were talking about that this morning while we were having a little bit of coffee. So, yeah, kind of lounging around our morning and thinking about what we're going to do for the day or all the things that we have to do that sometimes just doesn't seem like there's enough time in a day to do a lot of these things. So anyways, I'm going to get over to my page here on my phone and just make sure that we are coming through just fine. And so, yep, we are showing up there. So that's a good thing. Okay. Hey, before we jump in, this is going to be a continuation of yesterday, and this is on some topics that we've had some discussions about, but we're going to go a little bit deeper into what we're going to talk about as far as identifying, and understanding who it is that we're trying to talk to and reach. But before I do, these characters you see in the chair, you probably saw them yesterday. I didn't introduce them. So there's three of them. You can see two pretty clearly. Then Victor, he's hiding behind Sandy over there. But the gentleman in the blue shirt with the big eyebrows, that's not me. Okay, you might think it is, but his name is Walter Pools, and he's with Pool and Water Safety Network News. He's our reporter, our in studio reporter. The other two are field reporters. We'll start with the one that you can only see the top of his head. He's hiding. He's very shy, except when he is actually on camera, but his name is Victor Vest. Okay, he's all about life vests and all about making sure we educate people about the importance of water safety, but at the same time wearing life vests when it's appropriate. And Sandy is all about beaches, and she's all about lifeguards and water safety, open water safety, and her name is Sandy Beaches. So those are characters. We have been working, look for a lot more from them in 2020. We have been working on skits. We have green screen. We've got several things that we're going to be doing with them. So it should be a lot of fun. I hope it'll resonate with a lot of new people as we push our message and on our way to reach 100 million people with our message, but to get us as a community to get everybody's message at some point in time between now and June 15th of 2029 is to show up on the 2.45 billion news feeds on Facebook, plus other social media platforms. Hence why I've been talking so much about some of these things, because this right here is very extremely important when you're wanting to target and wanting to talk to people. So, hey, make sure you've got your coffee. And I've got my Drowning Warriors mug here. And so my wife and I were talking about, we're going to design a new mug actually for our coffee break, for those of you that are enjoying our coffee break. So we're going to, and we will have a coupon code. So we'll put a coupon code so our members can pick that up at really a reduced price. So we're going to get something, we're going to design that this weekend, and I'm going to get mine ordered. And so that way, when we have our coffee break, we will show up here and we will have our coffee break mug to show support and also remind us why we do what we do. So, hey, let's jump into what we're going to talk about. We've got a bunch of information here. So we're really talking about your ideal contact profile development. And I put in here your water safety. So if you're all about water safety, or if whatever you're about, put that in there. So your ideal blank contact profile development. So if you're about drowning detection, your ideal drowning detection contact profile. If you're all about swim lessons, your ideal swim lesson contact profile. Whatever it is, put that in there. That's going to help you. That can be your identifier, exactly keep you on track of who you're really trying to target and talk to, okay? So if you don't identify and understand who you're trying to reach when you're building out your foundation. And this is really a foundation. I talk about this in the members area. This is all part of my strategy that I've done that built to build up my following as far as my podcast, our website, our Facebook pages, our LinkedIn profiles, and what we've done to do that. So when we're talking about this, this is really setting you up to be an authority and a leader and the go-to expert in your niche, okay? And you're in the industry. And so this will probably not be going to have much success with building your following and mission or your cause if you don't follow some of these things that we're talking about. This is universal. This goes across any business, any organization, nonprofit, whatever. So creating your ideal, whatever you do, contact profile is going to help you gather as much information as possible on that ideal contact, okay, on that ideal person you want to have that conversation with. So you can truly understand their wants, their needs, and really what makes them tick. If you wanted to, those of you that might know me personally, or me, you've had discussions with me, what do you think makes me tick? Okay, that's if you can figure out what makes me tick, then you're going to be able to have a very solid conversation with me. So these are some key areas that you will need to focus on when you're creating this ideal blank, whatever you do, contact profile. Okay, first thing is personal demographics. Okay, personal demographics. The second thing is professional demographics. All right, and the other thing is personal attributes. Now, if you utilize LinkedIn, these work really well with trying to target people on LinkedIn. And these also work very well when you're trying to find where the people hang out at Facebook. You have to understand the two different platforms work a little differently. Facebook, you're targeting groups of people versus jobs and things like that, unless you're using sponsored content. If you use sponsored content, you can laser, draw that down and get very laser targeted on who it is you're trying to talk to. If you're using LinkedIn, you can go right at, that person in that particular job or in that particular industry or niche or whatever, and target them either where they work and or personally, okay? Facebook is a little more difficult when you're doing this, especially organically, okay? So writing all this down is going to help you understand and what makes the best people to connect with, okay, with your message. It's going to provide valuable insights also for you as you're going forward, and it's going to allow you to, or give you the approach to overall, overall, it will also help you deliver a more focused and effective messaging campaigns, okay, to be able to connect with these people and that you really want to get on the phone with or have a conversation with. This also works in the real world too, okay? This doesn't have to be, if you're going to, this will help you to determine where you need to set your booths up at, where are the people that you want to talk to, and it's going to help you also have those discussions with those people, and it's going to give you some solid information to have questions to ask. So, some of these demographics and attributes may not necessarily be important to you, and there's no need to include them in your contact profile if that would be the case, okay? And so you only need to include those ones that it would be beneficial in either finding them online, and like I said, or finding them in the offline world also. Okay, helping you to better understand their needs and what motivates them. And so this is going to help us, as here with the Kels Group and the Kelsey Code, to be able to get our message out to 100 million people. That's what Walter Poole's back here and Sandy Beaches and Victor Vest are all about. It's all about targeting the specific people that might engage with, some type of character. So it's about, remember the other day I talked about the 3 E's. It's about engagement, okay? It's about education, and it's about entertainment. Our characters will be engaging. They will be, educational, and they will be entertaining. So we will be able to capture people's attention, and hopefully, people begin to share. So we'll have a paid portion of that, and we will also have an organic, and we hope that will take off organic. So here's when you're thinking about identifying your ideal contact questions. Okay, so your ideal water safety contact questions, your ideal swim lesson contact questions, whatever that is. So here's some things to consider. Consider the following questions when you develop your profiles for here. So what does your dream contact look like? Okay, again, this is kind of some repeat that we had the other day, but this is dialing it down, even getting more laser focused. Make a list of everything that comes to mind, okay? And you can add any extra sheets of paper to that list, whatever is needed, all right? And then look at their past contacts. If you can get onto their profiles and look at things and see if you have any, anything in common with them, okay? Are there common threads that run throughout people's profiles are they connected with common people? Find those things, because that's going to allow you to have that conversation, and describe them below, and then put them on a sheet of paper. Look at the best contacts who engage with you now. So those people that engage with you the most right now, whether or not it's your YouTube channel, Facebook, in person, wherever, take a look at that and then make some notes about those people, why they're engaging with you, and why did you love to communicate with, or maybe why do you love working with people like that? Okay, and what type of results did you help them with? What type of results did they achieve? Okay, and then make sure you describe all that. And then we get into personal demographics. These are personal things. So, such things as age. We talked about this the other day. What is their age? What is their gender? Where are they located? Okay. For me, I look at water safety, drowning prevention is a worldwide problem. So, my ideal contacts are all over the world. And so that's why we have a huge following out of Australia, UK, Africa, South America, Canada, all over the place. I mean, basically there's 5 major English-speaking continents or countries out there, or areas, geographic areas, and we target all 5 of those, okay? So, that's important to know. So it'd be like Canada, United States, I think the UK, Australia, and the 5th one's leaving my mind right now. It's not on the top of my mind. But anyways, those are the basic things. And we talked also the other day about marital status, okay? Understanding their marital status. Family size, we talked about that. We also talked about occupation. And we want to know their race and religions, because this is going to help us dial down even deeper into what we want to talk about. Okay, then we get into professional demographics, and you might say, well, why do we need that? Well, it's important to understand, because this might tell you what platform you really need to use. If it's more job title, business related, then you may, like, we want to reach aquatic professionals. We want to reach swim school owners and business owners and things like that, because these are the people that are on the front lines. These are the people that are engaging with the general public more than I am. So those are the ones that I want to work with. Okay, so LinkedIn makes a great fit for that. Okay, so you want to understand what are their job titles, what would their job titles be, and then also the industry. And you may want to break it down to company or if it's a nonprofit, maybe organizational size. Okay, so you may want to make a chart out for that, numbers of employees, or maybe numbers of supporters or donors or whatever. If it's a nonprofit, there's a lot of information you can glean that's public record. Okay, and so maybe we'll spend a coffee break. We'll get somebody on as a guest that can talk to us about that. But do they have 1 to 10, 11 to 50? Or are they really big? Do they have 100,000+ employees? Things like that. Company revenue, okay, or revenue in donations. So if they're a nonprofit, what are their revenue? Is it $0 to $1 million, 1 to 10 million, 10 to $50 million, all the way up to are they over $1 billion? So you want to understand what's the revenue. One of the problems, remember, I believe there's 2 things here. Okay, number one, it's how we deliver the message. That's the big problem. But the other problem, we can solve this problem with water safety and drowning prevention if we maybe put some more emphasis on revenue. That's why I believe revenue, company revenue or revenue and donations is very, very important. So that's why we look to drive demand, bringing like-minded people together with their audience while we drive demand for what it is they have to offer, also driving revenue. And that's why that's so important. Okay. Specific, need a drink on that one. There we go. Specific companies, business, and organizations to target. Now you can make a list and say, okay, if I want to speak to an organization, if I want to speak to a business or company, if I want to speak to somebody, now I can begin to target some of these. And now I know, hey, where would it be the best place to find these people? Is it Facebook? Are there Facebook groups where these people hang out at? Are there LinkedIn groups? Do they have a LinkedIn page? Are they active on Facebook? Are they active on LinkedIn? Or maybe it's Twitter or Instagram. Okay. So now we get into some professional attributes. So these things would be like job duties and descriptions. Okay, so make a list of what their duties are, because if you're trying to do something with a company or business and you're talking to an entry-level person, they're not a decision maker, but they can help you open the door possibly to get your foot into a company to put on an educational program or to maybe do a fundraiser or do business with them. Okay, describe the pain points. We've been talking a lot about that. We talked about that yesterday. Okay. Everybody has a pain point. They have something that causes them grief or whatever. Understand it. And then perceived barriers to the pain point. In other words, these might be triggers, or they might be something that they're going to put up a wall, and they may say, hey, that's an area I'm not going to go into or talk about. And so, then the other thing is actions taken to relieve the pain point. And then, what actions are you going to take to help them through this process? Okay. With your, whatever it is that you're helping them with. If it's a business, who do they report to? Or is there anyone else involved in the day-to-day decisions? Okay. So those are important things to understand also. Okay. I know between yesterday and today, this is a ton of information. You can go into our members area, the first few lessons in our LinkedIn program. It's there. The information that I'm reading off here is actually part of a PDF that is there. It's downloadable. You can go into the members area. You can watch the video. There's a PowerPoint presentation that goes along with what I talked about yesterday, what I'm talking about today, and we will continue this into next week also, because one of the things I shared, as I shared on Christmas Day, is that, I'm sharing with you so we can get off to a great start in 2020. This is what we did at the start of 2019. We were, we didn't have a lot of traffic. We didn't have a lot of things. I think maybe just a few thousand visits to our website in the first 7 to 8 months of 2018. And we exploded that through the first 3 to 4 months of 2019. And this is exactly how we did it. Okay. So there's some action items I have for you. What would we be without some action items, right? So once you have a fully completed prospect or a profile of the person that you would like to, I want you to come back to the Kelsey Code. I want you to come back and share a little bit about that. Okay. Share that or shoot me an email at rick@thekelsgroup.com. I'm also going to, if I have it here, I'm going to put in here, let's see. Yep. I'm going to ask you to, if you would like to schedule a call with me and you want to discuss some of this a little more in depth and talk to me more about this, I just put in here my calendar link to schedule a chat. And so that'll allow you to, pick a time that's going to work. But with that, we've taken about 18 minutes. So I know our coffee break is about up. And I know this is Friday, so I hope you all have a great weekend. And I know everybody's still extremely busy, and probably many people are turned off. Right now, they've turned off their water safety. They've turned off things like that, and that's perfectly fine. But
we all do have to get back to work soon if we're not doing anything now. But 2020 is right around the corner. We're gonna, we've got what Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So we got 4 days, right? 4 days left in this year in 2019. If you haven't hit your goals for 2019 or what you want to accomplish, then let's sit down this weekend and assess those and try to determine where did you fall short, and then what can you do better for 2020. Okay, and if we can help you do that, then let us know. That's what we're here for. That's what this group is for. And we've got some, we're going to be doing some other programs and also some visits with other organizations in different states and different areas. So we are looking for making that push and really, really expanding some things. And I've got a program. If you're looking to really get into some Facebook and really I've got a program I'm going through right now, putting things together that I will put out in the first part of 2020. I'll start talking about it a little bit more.
It's going to be a big part of our strategy.
And so, and I will be sharing that with you because it's going to, it's going to take our 1 million hits that we've had, and it's going to, my goal is for 2020 is to triple that and take that to over 3 million hits for 2020, and it'll happen. And then in 2021, it's we're looking at doubling that and doubling and that's how we're going to get to 100 million. So we want you to be part of that. We want to help you also create your movement and create what it is that you're all about, and help your audience and help you do more, because in the end, what you know does save lives. Okay. And I want to help you get that out there. You guys are all awesome. Have a great weekend. I've got my coffee. I will design a new mug. You'll see that next week. We'll talk to you guys later. See ya. Bye. Where's my button? Get these guys behind me. Maybe they'll turn it off for me. See you guys.